This is Tractor Tuesday Live, hosted by 6th generation Nebraska farmer and Tractor Tuesday founder, Zach Bosle. Join us each week as he sits down with farmers, innovators, dealers, and creators who are enhancing the culture within agriculture. Right here on Tractor Tuesday Live.
Hey, Zach Bosle. I'm here. I'm live. It's Tuesday, right? No, it's
Monday. We blew it.
I already blew it. But with me is another gentleman that I think we could call him 14 Counties funniest, Nick Hoff.
Wow.
He's here in the studio with us at Tractor Tuesday. Why are you in my office?
I'm here because we ran into each other at a show in town on Saturday, and you said, come on by. We got a big show coming up tomorrow, right?
Oh, I do. Yeah. It's our biggest show we ever had. And I don't know. We'll see how this one goes because this might be the biggest show we ever had.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. It might be funnier, hopefully.
It might be, or you never know. I mean, sometimes we might just flop. But for everybody watching, I don't know if you know who this guy is yet. If you don't, you need to look him up. I was really oblivious. I didn't realize your last two specials were such home runs. And so I kind of started checking it out. I think he's got about 500,000 views across platforms on his most recent special. What is that? America, the Final Season?
Yep.
Did I say that right?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all about how I thought we were all goners, but 3 years later, here we are.
Well, that's the problem, man. You got to be more positive. And these comedians, they pretend to be happy and smiling, but deep down inside,
we figure, we see the dark and we see the light.
Okay.
It depends which way we want to go with the joke.
Well, and I was letting Nick know, I go to comedy shows semi-frequently. Saw some pretty big names in the past 18 months or so. I was mentioning Daniel Tosh, his opener, his writer from the show was really funny. Saw Shawn Waynes, of all people. His opener was pretty awesome. I like this other young guy named Ryan Long. But I mean, I'm dead serious, not just because I used to know this guy from football in high school and everything, but his set was literally the best set I've ever seen live in person. And it wasn't even just me, and I wasn't all hanging out with the Busch Lattes. It just really was that way. And I was talking with our friends after the show, and they were all just shocked.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to get up there. I still remember, I don't know if you remember this, but we played basketball together a couple of years, like YMCA ball. Okay. And do you remember, I still haven't seen anybody complete this move before. This guy was quite the hooper. He was doing a spin move. He was driving to the hoop, doing a spin move, and he picked up his dribble. And as he was going, he realized he was too far away from the bucket. And so he bounced it off this kid's head and continued to dribble after that.
Oh, shoot. I don't remember, but.
I can still picture it in my mind. I was like, how did he think to just bounce it off that kid's head and then continue a dribble on the way to the basket?
The truth of it is I'm really good at making accidents in real time look not as bad as they were. So I'm sure.
Don't believe that.
It was just a turnover in process. And, but no, if you guys couldn't tell, and I mentioned it when we started here, but Nick is from Hastings. Very few people, leave Hastings and then just disappear and don't come back. I think it's a really cool community that we have where we all feel driven to come back home, whether your family's still here or not. I think the experiences we had growing up in the 90s and early 2000s around these parts were really positive.
Yes.
And then I don't know how many people the auditorium or the theater hold, but it had to be about 1,000 people in there, wasn't it?
It wasn't that big, but it was a good, fun crowd. And I'm always happy when I come back to do a show in Hastings. The level of support that comes out, and it keeps growing each time we do it. It gets bigger and bigger. So it's fantastic. And what you said was exactly right. If I wasn't doing stand-up, I would want to live in Hastings. This is a great place to be, and I'm glad my kids get to experience it a couple weeks out of the year.
Well, see, in California, where he's at, with those people out there, I won't get I won't get too deep into it, but those people. But it's a big deal for you because you have 3 children.
Yeah.
And out there, that's just mind-blowing. Like, they can't even understand the carbon footprint of that, and they're probably judging you off of that. In Hastings, that's nothing.
Right.
3 kids, like, man, I remember my junior prom, so I mean, what are you talking about? It's out here, I mean, I don't know if you remember some of the Brambles, but man, between 3 brothers, they've got about 22 kids.
There's one that just bought a house out by my sister, and it's a pond that they used to fish all the time. Oh, yeah. And now some brambles are there, and they're like, we got to figure out if we can get permission to fish.
Oh, and that's Clay, and he's my guy. And
so
we were just at his pool yesterday, and he goes, I have people showing up to that pond every day of the week to fish.
Is that right?
And he goes, I don't know what to do yet, but he goes, I shouldn't say this on the live stream. I'm just going to let it slide for the rest of the summer.
Okay.
But I'll give you his cell phone number. Cool dude. He doesn't mind as long as they're not, stealing from him.
Yeah.
But cool pond. But another thing, if you can't tell, everybody knows each other here. So that I don't know what the best joke was. I was trying to think, back, because my wife kind of missed a lot of the show. And I don't know how you worked in the St. Cecilia disc, but that was pretty slick. That just kind of came up. But and then even the glass breaker thing.
Oh yeah,
that tool. And that you're about 12 years late on that, because man, everybody had one of those in like 2013.
It's so wild too. You see people from all over that have it, and they go, well, just in case.
It just comes in waves.
It's this little breaker, the tool that'll break out your window in case your car's ever underwater. You can break out your window and escape. And it seems kind of silly. And there's one gal at a show I did who had 2 of them. She goes, 100%. I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I go, why? And she goes, well, I'm not a good swimmer. I go, well, that's not going to help you swim. Stay in the car, sweetheart.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There was a lot of good jokes, and it's fun to see somebody actually work the crowd, not really get confused by the crowd. I mean, I've seen some of the big guys just, they're befuddled. It throws them out of their rhythm.
Right.
And I think as a performer, it was really cool to see, because you didn't skip a beat, and another thing that we could compliment you on. But how much of that was actually planned comedy versus, what you just kind of felt with the room that night?
It's about 85% planned.
Okay.
And then some of it, it just goes. And sometimes you have like, oh, here's my set jokes. Okay, I'm going to do these, 10 or 12 jokes over the course of the hour. And something will happen in the audience where this guy says something, or something distracts me over here. And then you kind of go, and then you realize, oh, now I've gone, I can't tell this story quite the way I was trying. And so you jump out of one joke and then into another one, or maybe you do this joke that you hadn't done in 5 years because it just had, something happened that brought it up. So I'd say it's about 85 to 90% planned, and then you leave that extra 10 to 15% for let the show be unique.
And when you pulled out the notepad, was that really things you were working on? Or
Yes.
Did you know they'd all kill?
No,
those all 3 were solid.
No, those okay. So I will have, over the course of a week, I will write down things that come to me, like maybe this is funny.
Okay.
And then at some point during the week, I'll kind of write out some bullet points for each one, but I won't really write it and flesh it out. I'll just be like, why do I think that this is weird? Or why is this funny? Or why is this strange? And then I'll go on stage, usually somewhere, the weekend or something, and I'll take 5 minutes and I'll say, here's some new things that, I think. And so I think the 4 new ones that I did on Saturday were ones from the last month that I had tried a couple times, and they seem to have recognition with people.
Okay.
Because sometimes you'll do a brand new joke and everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And then you're like, I guess that's just me. That's my fault. But then, so those 4 were ones that I had done maybe either once or twice before.
Okay.
And try and work them. And, this part didn't really work. So let me try this. Maybe if I say it differently this way, or if I put this up front, it'll land. Because sometimes the same joke, but just a little more information or a little less information up front can make it work.
Yeah, it sounds about right with the setup, I guess. And I mean, there wasn't a single joke that fell flat on the audience that night. I felt like everything kind of hit.
That's the hope.
I was shocked, and I was mad that when I went back retroactively, I saw one of your previous specials when you popped out from the trap door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you need to do that every time you're in Hastings, man. That's great.
But
now they know the trick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the stage has a trap door in it. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, I got to use that. But what you don't see is because I did 2 shows to film that special.
Okay.
I did 2 shows there that night, and I always had to put the trap door back because I didn't want to fall down into it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have somebody that could like pull it back in. And on one of the shows, as I was putting it back in and I let it drop, I got this giant splinter in my finger.
Nice.
And this is at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So I was like, am I going to do the whole show with this giant splinter? And if you look, I don't think it made the final edit, but in the one, you can see me as I'm walking up to the mic, just yank it out of my hand.
Just like a Hastings kid. And that's what my son needs to figure out. He's 4, and he's tough, but he's not. And it's just
Is he the middle?
No, he's the oldest.
Oldest.
I mean, so you haven't figured out I'm the oldest first-time dad in Adams County. And and that's a cool thing. But around here, usually when you're 40, you don't have your first kid, you have your first grandchild.
Right.
You know, so that's been my experience.
Some kids I went to high school with that are grandparents.
Oh, literally. Yeah, I have probably 3 or 4 dudes, and you probably would know them by name, that knocked somebody up in high school that are not only grandparents, but man, their grandkids are older than my kids. So it's more common to be a grandpa at my advanced age. And I guess thankfully my wife is quite a bit younger, so we're not stopping. We're not at some California maximum of 3.
So you're going to keep going after 3?
Man, I'm going to be 50 by the time I'm done.
What do you have?
I just have my oldest is a son, and I got 2 daughters. So I got a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're
man,
we're
God
doing
bless
it,
you.
Oh, it's not that bad.
3, I tapped out.
Well, but I mean, in California, you know, you probably had all sorts of people knocking on your door, letting you know how bad you are for doing what you did. You know, and it's just, for me, it's like the opposite. Our kids all sleep great. You know, it's just, I wake up super early. It doesn't matter. All my kids are asleep, and it's just, I get a lot done early in the morning because our kids sleep till like 8 a.m.
Yeah, but I work nights, so I can't do that.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
When they get up,
Yeah.
I'm up and I'm like, oh, this is brutal.
Yeah,
so
that's probably true.
We finished it. I did not get the vasectomy, but we're not going to have any more. But every time like there's like a possible scare, I am very scared because I can't go back in. My daughter's 8. I can't go back.
And she's your youngest?
She's my youngest.
Okay.
I can't go back in.
So that's more normal, you know, your youngest being 8, not your oldest being 4.
Well, California, you'd fit right in.
Yeah,
a lot of people are like older parents out there, but here they were like, what are you doing? Why aren't you having kids?
Well, there was a Nebraska, there was a Hastings High girl that was from California that came to the show.
Yeah.
I think Jamie probably just came just because.
Yeah, she said she was in town and it was going on, so that was cool.
I don't know if you saw Mike Malenik, who was in town from Taiwan.
People coming from all over
international just to see this guy, you know, but there's a reason. I mean, it's not like you just do these little shows. It was a big show. I mean, the average comedian doesn't perform in front of 888 Hastings dudes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it's a pretty good crowd for a comedy show.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. People think that, you know, more people means like the comic would be nervous, but it's actually better.
Yeah.
The more, the merrier. The worst shows is when there's 2 people in the audience.
Okay.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's pulling teeth. That's early on days. That's 05, 06, doing comedy at open mics out in Los Angeles, and you couldn't pull a crowd and you go, this stinks. Yeah, give me a couple hundred. I'm happy.
Well, and I've been seeing some of the stuff, some of the tours you've been on have been huge. What's the biggest crowd you've worked yet?
Well, when I was opening for Larry the Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy, we'd do these arenas, and there'd be, you know, 10, 15,000 people out there, and you go,
jeez,
you know, this is great. This is fantastic. But the funny thing about those is you'd go to these arenas and they had security at the front. So like metal detectors and things like that.
Yeah.
And I've never seen more grown men after a show digging through the bushes trying to find their pocket knife where they ditched it. After every single show, I'd see 30, 40 guys like, I know I threw it in here somewhere.
Oh, I don't doubt it. That's kind of the audience. And but that's a cool fit because you're not really, that's not, you know, your routine, so to speak. You got more of a fresh take on, I don't know, what would you call it?
Well, I do jokes about like family stuff, so it doesn't necessarily step on their toes. I'm not taking their shtick or anything, but it fits with their audience.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's homegrown. It still feels, you know, at worst I'm PG-13, so I'm not.
And that's what I was gonna say is, you know, like my oldest that we mentioned here, he's 4. I think he could have been fine. No real earmuff moments for him.
Yeah,
but it was still super funny.
Okay,
you know, and that's interesting. And like I said earlier, I'll say it all day, all week, but it was the best set I've seen in probably ever. And I've been to probably dozens of these big name, you know, people. Allegedly.
Boy, my head's not going to get out that door. That's a 4-foot door.
Yeah, it's big. Well, if you see the rest of my team, you know why everything's so damn big around here. But it was a great show and it was relatively clean. I don't know how you could talk about spicing it up in the bedroom with your mom and your sister in the audience. You know, that got a little dicey. I felt nervous for you.
Then it's not as bad. If the in-laws are there, then it's a little worse.
Yeah, it'd be a little
talking
awkward.
About their baby girl.
Yeah. No, it was an awesome show, man. And I just think it's so awesome that not only do you do all these things and go on these big tours, anything international or just in the States with those guys?
Canada.
Okay.
Canada. And I tell Larry all the time, I'm like, come on, man, let's go. Cause he gets messages and I see him. I see people post like from Australia and stuff like that. Come, we want to see you. And I'm like, let's go to Australia, dude. Let's He doesn't want to leave the country. He's like, I love it here.
I'm not mad at him, but I mean, just to have those types of experiences and actually be, you know, what you are. There's a reason why those guys have chose you to be a part of their tours.
Yeah, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. And when they were doing their tour, their big 75 city tour in America, they had different guys planned for different things. I think there were like 3 or 4 openers that were going to do it. And then I just happened to be put on the first 2. And the very first show I think was in Kansas City. We were doing Kansas City and I think St. Louis on back-to-back nights. And the first show, I think, you know, I was all excited, big crowd. Jeff Foxworthy's here. I just met him. And I kind of felt like, my performance was like a C. And I was like, what happened? I was just doing the hits. I was only doing 10 minutes. I was like, these are my best jokes. Why was it just mediocre? And then I realized, I thought to myself, I guess it wasn't a realization yet, but I thought, oh, they don't know who I am. The audience, you know, the ticket doesn't say Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy with Nick Hoff. It just says Jeff and Larry. And so I went out that second night in St. Louis, and the first thing I said was, who the hell am I, right? And everybody laughed because I said exactly what they were thinking. And it was a little self-deprecating. And then the same jokes that I just done the night before killed. And so I think I was only scheduled to do like 3 or 4 more shows the rest of the tour. But after that first weekend, they said, he's the guy. And I did all 75 cities with him.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know usually, at least you mentioned this years past, that you usually would travel with your whole family. Did you bring them on that big tour?
No, they stayed home for that. They got to see when we came out and did some California shows. My kids got to like drive up and see that. But no, that was flying around with those guys. And I was just gone for the weekend because those guys are both family guys as well.
Cool.
They just did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, go home Sunday, see you guys on Thursday at the next place.
Yeah, that's a good way to live.
So yeah, but every summer the wife and kids come with me. They get out of school.
I thought.
We go across the country. My kids have already been to 43 states.
Wow.
So
geez, they're starting to really
they love it. They love it. I'll do that as long as I possibly can. I'm waiting for the day where my oldest is like, no, I want to hang out with my friends here in California.
Summer. Well, how old's your oldest then?
Oldest is 12.
12,
10, 8.
Jeez, it's happening, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna get pretty interesting for you. Are they as aware of their Nebraska roots as they should be, or is there still a little bit more they need to learn?
I think so. You know, I sit them on the couch every fall and we watch every Nebraska game.
A lot of disappointment. So that's a good step.
It's so tough to keep them, you know, invested in it because I'm like, no, just stick with it. We'll be fine.
Well, at least volleyball.
We did go see. They played UCLA out there, and we went. And we saw them play that. I had a friend who works in the volleyball department there at UCLA. And she goes, I'll give you free tickets to come see the show. I said, or to see the match. I said, great. She goes, you know what? If you wear blue, they'll be courtside. And I said, nope, give me the red ones.
Man.
So we sat up pretty high, but
but it's pretty amazing. At least we got that. And what else do we have? I don't know. There's probably
basketball did pretty well.
It was a lot of fun this year. Yeah, that was cool.
You were excited watching those.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things at least. I don't know. Probably don't ship runs back to California or anything.
No, but they love those kids meals where they get the free ice cream cone attached to the bag. They love Nebraska. They love being here. They love going fishing. In the winter, we go hunting up by North Platte at my grandpa's farm. And they love coming back and doing everything here.
So is that why you make North Platte kind of a stop on most of your tours?
Yeah, that's where my mom's from.
So
we have some ties there. And the last maybe 6 years, I like every other year or something, I'll do the Fox Theater there.
Yeah, I just saw that coming in a couple of months because a few of these people I've been hyping you up to, they're like, when's you coming back through? And I said, well, North Platte in like a couple of months, I think.
Right, I'll hit North Platte, Scotts Bluff, there's a theater out there, Kearney, the World Theater, and I'll do Lincoln and Omaha and Seward. I do. So I have these different Nebraska places, but I try and spread them out so that it's not I don't do one every this 1 year. I do all of them. I do 2 every year. So that way they get to see different things, because I couldn't do a show in Hastings again next year with the same audience because I can't develop material that quickly.
Well, I see Florida's kind of a staple. That's where our guy Kyle's sitting right now, and it'd be a good one to go.
Cows in Florida? Where in Florida?
Oh, he's just kind of outside of Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere.
I'll be in Orlando in January, I think, with Larry.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, and then not saying I'm a snowbird, but I seem to try to take the family down there as much as I can. My mom and dad do the Florida thing.
Oh, do they?
So yeah, we might have to go do that. I've never actually, I'm hyping him up like he's the greatest comedian I've ever seen. I've never seen Larry do a set live.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. Don't pull my Nebraska card, but I guess I've never because I mean a lot of people don't know, like he is like, isn't it like the largest comedy album sales ever is him?
He's huge. And yeah, a Nebraska guy. Yeah. Grew up in Nebraska City, still lives just outside of Lincoln.
Yeah.
We got some big name comics, Carson.
Well, yeah.
And Adam Devine, who's kind of our
I
age,
forgot
from
he's
Workaholics. He's
I forgot about him.
Guy.
Yeah, okay. I guess there's a few, but it's just I was telling DDP's manager, I was like, at least about like 20 years ago, Nebraska had the most NCAA athletes per capita.
Is that
for
right?
High school graduates. It was like 11 out of 100,000 boys from Nebraska participate in the NCAA. It's something.
Really?
And he goes, "Oh, you're telling me it's more than Texas and California?" And I'm like, "Yes, Marlon, if you're watching, it is." And at least, or it was, back in our day. And then I was telling my dad, I was like, "Yeah, I think I rope-a-dope Nick Hoff into coming by the studio." And he goes, "Oh, you tell Nick, I remember when he and Trader and all those guys were seniors, he turned into a hell of a receiver."
Right.
And I wish I would have been able to watch you guys do what you're doing. I was already out west myself.
Yeah.
But, I think you guys had a hell of a good season.
We did. We lost to Scottsbluff in the state semifinal, but I still lament that we took that bus on game day, whatever it is, 6 hours out there. I'm like,
yeah, that was a mistake.
You think our legs are still in this? And we lost it in the fourth quarter. We were up 7-0 and we were up 3-0. It was a blizzard out. They drove a truck out on the field to scoop the snow off. And so every, how wide a truck is, was 6 feet wide. Okay. So every 6 feet, there'd be a little mound of snow where they the snow gets pushed off. So you kind of had to run with these jumps to get over. We didn't throw a lot of passes that game.
Yeah. Well, you didn't need to. Stetzel. That was the
fantastic.
Point. Yeah. No, I knew you guys did well, but I guess I was just so tunnel visioned. I just forgot everything.
Yeah, you may not know it to look at me, but I am a Hastings High Athletic Hall of Fame.
Oh, because of the team?
It was because of the tennis. We won a state title in tennis as a team. Yeah. And then I also am a powerlifting champion.
Seriously?
As a team.
As a team. Okay.
I was in the 103-pound category.
Oh my goodness.
But as a team, you check out my picture.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, there's nothing with my name on there, and if there was, they probably would have. They would have blacked it out.
Let me see your thumb. Which thumb did you? That's the thumb. Is it? Do you still have full?
Oh, I can't shuffle a deck of cards anymore, but.
We were at practice, so you must have been a junior.
I was a junior.
Because I did not play my junior year. I went back my senior year because I grew finally. Yeah. But I remember we were practicing field goals, and you came in and you blocked this field goal, and it blocked it into his thumb. And as he's running off, he saw his thumb just jammed up. He's like, "Took one for the team or one for the good guys," or something. We're all like, "Oh man!"
It was worse than field goal. It was punt, and it was your monster cousin.
You blocked the punt. That's what it was.
And then even worse than that, Coach Mack. So this is what the threat was. He said, "Bosle, if you don't block this punt, you're not playing in tomorrow's game." And I was like, "It's pregame. What are you talking about?" And it was Gloystein trying to block me. So I think he let me by the first time. I blocked it, no problem. Then he goes, "I'm telling you, if you don't block it," it's like. I just did what you asked. So I blocked it a second time. Well, just like a great comedy routine here. Here's the punchline. So now Gloystein's all pissed off. He threatened him that if you can't stop me, then he's not going to play.
What a turd.
And it's like, it's pregame. What are you doing to us? So then I get by him somehow and I block it again. I thought I blew my knee out. I didn't even know what I did. And so I'm checking my knees, my Achilles. And then all of a sudden I look at my hand and my thumb's in my wrist. Literally.
Oh.
And
when you ran past us, and then they go, "Okay, somebody takes Bosle's place," and everybody's like,
"What are we doing, Coach? A game tomorrow?" Yeah, I don't know, man. We're talking about practice here at Tractor Tuesday Live,
practice,
and I don't know what the point of it ever was. And I still, if you go to Farmers Bowling and you pass me the deck of cards to shuffle, I got to pass it to the next guy because Coach Mack killed my wrist. So a lot of good, a lot of bad. I hope my kids don't play football, but
is that right?
I mean, I don't care if they do. I don't think I'll be able to stop them.
Right.
But I'm not going to be like pushing them into athletics. Okay. Are your kids doing sports in Cali?
They do flag football. We're weak out there.
Yeah, well, that's great. I think that makes more sense.
It's taken over, and it makes sense as a little kid to do it.
Yeah.
But then they don't have, like in West Los Angeles where we are, their junior high teams don't have tackle footballs teams, and then in high school they do, and they get curb stomped.
Yeah.
And you go, well, no kidding, because you haven't hit anybody in your entire life. Now you got to go tackle Compton High.
Yeah.
And they're they're dominating.
Yeah, I don't know. I loved contact, man, and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm a physical comedian. This guy's more of a talented with the tongue, but it's just I loved contact and having livestock. Man, I love the feedback, hitting them with a hog panel. I was into it, and you couldn't have stopped me. And I feel like that's how our kids are starting to evolve, and there won't be any way I can stop them from doing what they want to do.
Right. But yeah, there's all that stuff. But they got new helmets now. We were out there and like
the air shoot, and just with neck collars. If you had a neck problem, just put a big block behind your helmet.
You'll be fine.
That'll help out. And I don't know, man. Sports, dude. It's so crazy around here. I'm hoping that this whole counter revolution going against traveling sports picks up more steam.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They even do it out there in Los Angeles, and I'm going, why did you fly to Salt Lake City to play a team? There must be 9 million kids within 200 miles of us that are playing basketball. Why did you have to fly somewhere to go do it? It's kind of silly.
Well, and when we were growing up around here, the Legion baseball was war.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like 1 to 4 great athletes on every team. It was a battle, man. And then you'd have like all the spoiled kids in Hastings on the A's, and then you'd play them, and they couldn't hang with the Legion kids, for the most part. Now it's like there's like a dozen traveling teams.
Yep.
These kids have like jewelry and $1,000 worth of bats, and it's like, that's not going to be my kids. I'll put it on the line right now. Our kids aren't doing anything travel unless it's the USA. That's it.
What do you mean?
Oh, but they're like some pro 18 and under type deal.
Okay,
maybe.
Gotcha. All right, then you'll allow it.
Then they'll allow it. But they're not doing baseball like that.
Yeah, it's tough to see what happens. Like that's the one thing I will say about Hastings that is different than when we were growing up. Is like our midget football.
Yeah.
Every kid from the area came in and played on this league.
Teams,
now they're saying it's hard to actually field teams because every little town has their own league or something like that. And
I don't doubt it. Yeah. I guess, again, with my, limited access as a 44-year-old, first-time dad, I don't really know all the tricks.
Well, get ready. That 4-year-old's going to grow up fast, and you're going to be out there. You're going to coach. And
he tries to get in the mix at the Adams Central games with the kids playing tackle football, and that was like a year ago.
He's probably huge. What are you, 6'4"?
6'5"? I remember 8th grade. I wish I was that short. Then I could probably walk into a door, but it's just I don't know. He's going to be nuts, and I think he's going to really be all in on the sports thing. His mom was a good athlete. She played basketball in college.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be locked in. We're going to do this podcast again in 3 years. He's like, well, we're going to travel to Kansas City.
Yeah, I got 2nd grade baseball and in Delaware. So,
we got T-ball in Delaware. We got to get there.
It won't be me, man. I'm telling you. But your girls, they're into sports then?
Well, I've got two boys and they both play flag football, and then the little girl does gymnastics.
Oh, okay.
Which that was my wife's deal. She likes gymnastics, and so she's really into it. But it's a whole deal. That's a
lot of work.
Those are 3 days a week, 3 hours each day, and you go 9 hours.
Yeah,
she's 8.
Oh wow,
she's 8. What are we doing?
She must be pretty good.
She loves it, and she's tumbling around, so that's good for her to do. But yeah, we didn't do the travel.
Yeah,
we didn't do the travel. I don't want to do that. But we're drawing. The pendulum does swing, and not just with sports, but like I think tech too. Yeah. Technology, like our generation's really into technology. Like we're all in our phones and things like that. I think our kids aren't going to do it.
Good.
Don't you think?
I don't think my kids will have a choice to even have access to do it.
What do you mean?
Well, shit. My son is so excited to go to the barber shop because he can actually watch TV.
You guys don't have a TV at home?
We do, but it just shows art. We don't actually. They don't watch anything. So they've got the Tony box. You ever seen those?
Uh-uh.
It's like this little box, and then you can get these characters with like books in them.
Okay.
So you can get like a Spidey story or, whatever you got going on.
Yeah.
But and you can just see it, man. The wheels are turning in their head. They're listening to words at least.
Yeah.
So that's their bad thing, is like audiobooks.
Yeah. Okay. So you're like
I'm anti everything. Yeah. I mean, ask my guys. That's why I love doing live streams, because I'm literally 1 5-second soundbite from just ruining the whole company. So that I need that type of pressure.
Yeah, we need a 7-second delay.
Oh man, I know. And there's a few words that I could drop that could really ruin everything.
All right, let's not do that.
Oh, I'm not too worried, but I got relatively good control. But yeah, if I could start a cult, this is what I would do. I would pretend that it's like 1987 and go maybe all the way up to about 1997.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is slowly integrate the technology. And then once they get to maybe Nintendo 64, that's the peak.
That's as high as we get?
That's as high as we're going to get, is Nintendo 64.
You guys get the advanced Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You're going to get Zelda.
But you got to start off like I did.
Yeah.
Like you got to start off when the regular Nintendo's out and your mom and dad buy Pong at an auction.
Right.
You got to start off with that. And then you got to go into, then when the Super Nintendo's about ready to come out, then you get just the piece of crap Atari.
Yeah.
So you can play Tank or something.
Sure.
And then, you got to not only get the technology that's delayed in 30 years in the past, but you got to be late at it. The rest of your friends in the cult have to have one system generation better than yours. It's a whole psychological thing. And that's how you get a cult.
I like it. And you know what? 10 years ago, maybe you wouldn't have gotten me, but I remember last time we played basketball together was at the old YMCA.
Okay.
And you were trying to talk me into buying Bitcoin.
Oh, I did.
And it was it was under $100 at that point.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm telling you, do it. And I was like, Bitcoin, what is this?
Yeah. What's that, a Ponzi?
And I think about that all the time. I was like,
good.
Bitcoin's $65,000. Like,
that's what they say. So I don't even know what a Bitcoin is this guy's talking about. But yeah, I used to talk about that a lot, to the point where that was the last cult I was a part of.
Was Bitcoin cult?
Yeah, it was the Bitcoin cult. And I got off that boat, but I, still had a really great experience. I guess I don't know who's listening, but yeah, it's an interesting technology. But as somebody with a tech company, I could really care less about. I'm sorry you missed out. I should have pleaded the case a little bit.
You should have forced it.
I don't know what I could have done differently, though.
Probably nothing.
I feel like I'm a good salesperson. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like you missed out, and I'm sorry.
I just blew it. I didn't know enough about it.
But if you would have got rich off of that, we would have never had this great comedy.
That's true. That's true. It's all coming around.
It would have been so relatable. It's like, hey, I'm Nick Hoff. I just got out of my steam room, and I was going to hop in the hyperbaric chamber, but don't you hate it when you stub your toe walking in the hyperbaric chamber?
It really hurts when you're getting on your private jet.
Yeah.
And the air isn't down to your liking.
Yeah, it's so relatable, man. You would have never been what you are today.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
And that's all the things. I mean, everybody can have these situations, have these things happen, but what happens to you, it's what shapes and creates.
Yeah.
And that's the best part.
As long as you're good.
Well, or if you're bad,
you suck.
You can be the best at being bad, and a good example is my son is very aware of comedy.
Okay.
He gets what a joke is. He likes to try to make people laugh.
That's awesome.
I shouldn't do this in front of the whole world here, but this is his stand-up routine. It'll be knock, knock, and then somebody will say who's there, and then he'll be like, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man who?
And then it'll be, why you so sad? And it's like, what? And then it'll go again, and then it's like, who's there? Boo, boo hoo, why you so sad? Everything, he gets the structure and he gets what the payoff should be, but he hasn't got the funny part yet.
Gotcha.
He's working the crowd.
He's going to take my job one day.
Yeah, he's doing it. But hey, we got a few questions. Let me see if I can read from all the way back here. But from Get Off My Case IH, does Nick have a comedian who inspired him to get into comedy? And I'm sure there's probably a whole bunch of them, because knowing you growing up, I think a lot of people had some of the same influences, but I guess who got you into the game in theory?
Yeah, well, I would say Seinfeld was probably the big one. When his show came out in the 90s, and you'd watch it and you go, wait, what does he do for a living?
Yeah.
Then, he's a stand-up comedian. You go, that's a job?
Yeah.
And I had no idea that, like, I had heard some comedy albums, but that was just like a thing that I didn't realize it was something you could actually do. But when that show came out, something clicked inside my head, and I would watch Seinfeld every single week, and I would go and I'd put 2 VCRs on top of each other and edit out the commercials. So I get more on a little VHS tape.
Oh yeah.
So I had them all before they were out on DVD and things like that, or on the streamers. I think I still have them all on VHS. So Seinfeld was probably the one. There are some you can't say anymore, like Cosby was huge.
Yeah.
I know that was one of the first albums I had ever heard. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Now it's a lot like Bill Burr. Bill Burr's one of the best working, I think. So yeah, I think Seinfeld and Cosby were the two, and then seeing like Eddie Murphy. Once you get a little older, you see Eddie Murphy Raw or something like that. Yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah, and without really knowing what your routine would have been, I swear I saw you probably maybe from like 07 to 09 once in Omaha, I feel like, and don't remember, but maybe it was as good.
It probably wasn't. It's one of those things that when you look back at what you were doing 5 years ago, you go, oh, I was doing that. It's brutal,
but it's situational too, you know, and just because you look back at the clothes we're wearing in the 90s and same thing, I was doing that. But what I would say, if you're not familiar with Nick or any of his stand-up, number one, check it out. I think your newest special was like 500,000.
America the Final Season. It's done really well. So I was very excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then even the one prior, was it Front to Back? Is that right?
Front to Back.
Yeah, that's got a ton of views, 250,000, 300,000, something like that. Look into a little bit of his history. Are you making that last show into a special?
Yes, it will. I'll probably film later this fall or early winter. When it's all finalized and I get a good spot to do that, I'll film that, because it's always exciting to put out new stuff. Because if you look, you probably can't see any of the jokes that I did on Saturday out there. Maybe one or two. It's like these are the things. It's so different from music. Music, they'll put it out, and then they'll go tour that. And so people are like, oh, I want to hear the songs that we just heard on the radio or heard on the album. Comedy's kind of different. Comedy, like, there's an element of surprise there where sometimes you like to hear the same joke over and over, but by and large, you go to the same place, do the same jokes. People are like, I heard it.
Yeah. Well, not being like super familiar with your catalog, and obviously just familiar with you and our locker room and the showers. But I think the biggest thing is,
hopefully not too familiar with that.
It's football, man. But I would say, to me, it's like you're kind of, you're like Seinfeld if he was, wearing a flannel shirt and not some uppity New York City guy, with a little bit of, I don't know, you almost have like a little bit of flair, like your Jim Carrey too.
Well, that's also giant influence, Jim Carrey. Like, not his stand-up necessarily, but his movies, huge.
But
come on.
Even like expression and what you do to, people just, it's like they can feel the emotion just kind of off your nonverbals when you're performing. Is what I felt like, especially on some of the crowd work and some of the other things. I don't know if that's how you come up with a Seinfeld Carrey hybrid, but I think if Jerry Seinfeld was like Jerry Roberts from Adams County, with a little bit of Jim Carrey flair, I think that's
I'll take it.
Not to lump you in with other people, because you're definitely your own act, you're your own thing, but I guess that's maybe a hybrid, because one of my friends was like, well, what's he like? And I was like, oh, that's kind of what I told him.
That's a fair assessment. I'll take it.
Okay, well, good. Yeah, I'm not completely striking out. Maybe we ought to try to come up with a premise here real quick. I've got an idea. And I always get these stupid emails, and I'm telling you, the worst thing is the email marketing anymore. Not only they've got it figured out, and we know how they do these tricks because of our developers, but man, you even put something in your shopping cart and you don't follow through with it, you're getting an email. So this is my thing is, and I told this to a female comedian once, and she was way over her head. She didn't get it.
Didn't like it.
But if you could kind of correlate all the female marketers and then somehow come up, it's like almost like it's a weird one night stand, because you buy the thing the one time and they just harass you until you unsubscribe, and it's almost like that, and then you end up ghosting them. Oh, hey, I saw you put it in the shopping cart.
Right. You had a one night stand and she got pregnant, and now she's hassling you the whole time.
Well, I wasn't saying
I'm not pointing
like
at anybody in particular, but that's what it sounds like. It was a single transaction. Leave me alone, Walmart.
Yeah, pretty much. And then every time you just, you didn't check out, so would you like 20% off? And it's just, that's how email and mass marketing seems to me. Very feminine, doesn't really, and I think that drives so many unsubscribes. So what we do with our platforms Yeah, we don't bother people.
Okay.
Yeah, first rule. Second rule, we don't sell user data. So that's another big thing that we're very much anti and opposed to at Tractor Tuesday and our Tractor HQ brand. Everything we do on our platform is 100% private.
Yeah.
So yeah, the social, the marketing, all the stuff, man, it's overbearing. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And I think you probably see that whole thing way more being in California.
Or even if you just try and, so I like the premise. I like that. And so you'd write, that'd be something you'd just write down in my first notebook, which is kind of a little small thing, or I'd put it in my phone. And then later in the week, you'd sit there and you'd try and correlate, okay, is this something that's going to resonate with most people? And how do I do that? Because comedy is just, you've got a room full of people, like Saturday night, room full of people, anywhere from the age, I think there was like an 8-year-old there.
Yeah, there was.
And there were probably 70-year-olds there. And you go, okay, like, how am I going to relate to all these people? And it's kind of like a funnel. You try and, you start wide and then kind of trickle them down to here's the punchline. And you got to capture them all here and get them down. That's where the setup is. Okay. And it's like if you ever told a joke and it didn't land, and then you say, I guess you had to be there. Yeah. The comedian's job is to get everybody there and then tell the joke. Okay. So you figure out how to get this, to easily translate to everybody, so everybody will relate to it. And then if that works, that would be one of those things that I would try in my little 5 minutes and see if there's resonance there. Did people like, even if they didn't laugh, I kind of see them go, then there's something there. Okay. And then you'd write out, everything else about marketing, everything else about what you do, what other people do. Right. And you trying to find a better rate on your insurance, and you put your email in there, and all of a sudden you got 17 calls from all these places.
Or like in our industry, you call somebody with a tractor ad, the call's being recorded, you happen to mention something about financing, then you hang up the phone, and then their financing company calls you. So if you want to have those experiences, go to our competitors. It's great. They record all your phone calls.
Doesn't happen here.
Everything's awesome. We don't do that here. I don't have time for it. We're writing code. We're getting after it. But I've got one more awesome joke, but we got to wait until this is all over. I can't say it live on the air.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a good, if you ever have a farmer heavy crowd, I got a guaranteed home run.
Okay.
And the thing is, it's like a rural legend of a joke. People feel like they've heard the joke when it's being set up, but nobody can ever execute it. Okay. But I feel like I can pull it off. I bet you could do it 10 times better. So when we're done coming with the live stream here, I'll tell you that one. You can write it down.
All right.
Hey, so what's next? What's your next show? Are you going to Phoenix next?
Phoenix this weekend. Yep.
Okay. And everything's at nickhoff.com. Is that right?
That's right.
I think we need to get you a new website. So,
man,
we host hundreds of websites. That's part of what we do. You get the player price. We'll hook you up for free, and we got to get you a new website.
All right, so I appreciate it.
We'll work with you on that one. Any other big tours coming next?
Just this fall I'll be doing Honing the Hour, getting ready, gearing up to film, and then in January Larry and I are going on the road for a few months. So.
Oh, awesome! Just kind of all throughout the whole country, or is there a region?
He focuses. He's got some golf. He loves golf now. Oh, so he's got a golf tournament down in Florida. So we'll spend 2 weeks down there, just bumming around doing the casinos and theaters there, and then he branches out. Okay, and he goes. So we'll be doing that in the spring. Okay, and then next year it's all about developing the new material. So the hour that I film. Once it goes out live, I'll hopefully stop doing most of those jokes and kind of move on.
Well, then you can just call me up and I'll tell you bad jokes about email marketing and farmer jokes. So we'll get you dialed in for the next season.
I'm into it.
No problem. But I think you need to have like America, like the finale in parentheses, really.
Okay. Yeah.
That wouldn't be bad. Do you have any working titles?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah. That could work.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, because you can't just end on one season. You've actually worked in movie and television. Yeah. You can't just do,
Can't just do the final season first.
No, you got to have basically like the sequel, and then, it's like a Naked Gun deal. It never ends. 33rd, right. The whole deal. But I think it's always ending. That's the cool and exciting thing is about living today. It might be over tonight.
You never know. There's a lot going on. Every other day we got peace with Iran. Oh, no, we're bombing Iran again.
I think it kind of makes it exciting. And it helps us. We're just positive people. My wife will say I'm the most positive pessimist she's ever met.
Sure.
So I think that's kind of the balance. I walk a weird line of hating everything and loving all the beauty.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with it. But again,
plan for the worst and hope for the best.
NickHoff.com. What's your main social? What's your go-to?
Yeah, I like YouTube and Instagram. Those are the most like comedy friendly. I mean, Facebook's good for like interacting with people and allow my mom to see what's happening. But yeah, I like those platforms.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to make sure we share all those with everybody. But yeah, look up Nick Hoff. If you can't find him, I don't know. I guess maybe he's not for you.
There's a Nicholas Hoffman in Oregon somewhere that will send me a message from time to time and say, "Hey man, you must have killed it last night in Dallas because I got a bunch of new followers."
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So he's found how to get my things.
Oh, you can just write it. Yeah, just send him a threatening cease and desist.
It's not his fault they went to him.
I don't know.
He's got a big old beard. I don't know how they blow it that bad.
It's messing up his SEO, is what's going on. But we can talk about that later. But again, everybody out there, go to nickhoff.com. Check out some of his comedy specials. They're legitimately some of the best content on the internet. And I'm always looking for new content. And most farmers are. You're halfway through planting season. I am so sick of other people's words and music and everything. I don't even know. I'm always asking everybody on the team, like, man, I need something, guys. What can I listen to? And surprisingly, I need to work in more of your content, get more familiar with it because, we were all blown away at the show the other night. Like I said, it wasn't just me, the whole audience, everybody at the bars afterward. Did you end up going out?
I appreciate it. No, my wife had a headache, so I went home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, typical. But, what are you going to do, man?
She didn't want to listen to me anymore.
Oh, no. But everybody we saw, we went to Wanda's, we went to the Tank, we hit all the spots. We even started off at you probably never been to the Dirty O, have you?
No.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Dirty O?
They're probably open right now, cashing checks, everything. It's the Dirty O. I think it's on 3rd Street, downtown Hastings.
Okay.
I wouldn't go there in the daylight.
All right.
Yeah, it's a it's a good dive bar at nighttime, and it's still pretty risky.
Okay.
You might need more people from Larry the Cable Guy's audience to be there with some buck knives or something, but get a little bit extra protection. But I don't want to hold you all day, man. I know you're here to see some family, and just honored you stopped by the studio just because I asked. So I appreciate
Thanks for having me, and tune in tomorrow. Got a big one tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's the best one. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this might be the best show we ever did, and we'll see if I can make it better for tomorrow. And what we need you and Larry the Cable Guy to get on DDP Yoga. I think you need to look into this, man. I mean,
I got to check it out.
Butterbean, like you name it. Anybody that's ever ruined their body and got morbidly obese and just kind of thought it was over, this guy whips them back into shape, man. He's got hundreds of thousands of paying subscribers on his app.
Wow.
And it's like yoga for dudes, basically.
All right.
And I'm telling you, it's an interesting deal. You can get a free promo code if you watch the show tomorrow. But for everybody out there, I'm Zach Bosle, the funniest guy ever from Hastings. You got to try to come up with a way to lock that in.
Right.
I don't think anybody would care. They'd be like, what, Hastings, Minnesota? What are we talking about?
Hastings, Nebraska. Yeah, they got to name a street after me or something.
I think so. I mean, why not? Like, I don't know, Nick Avenue?
So I like it.
Yeah, it's better than Nick Boulevard. That almost sounds like an entertainment name. So I think maybe we'll be Nick Avenue or something. But we could put a little street sign out there. We could just call it right there.
I like it.
NickHoff.com. Look him up on social media. If you can't find him, I don't know, call his mom or something.
I'll be getting a new website soon.
Yeah, he needs one. My guy's already checking it out and just like, oh my God, seriously? This guy's famous? Yeah, anyways, I appreciate you guys. Make sure tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central, like I said, Diamond Dallas Page, the pro wrestler, WWE Hall of Famer. I don't know why these people come on our show. I just send them a message or I see them on the steps outside of a theater and yell at them and they all say, yeah, sure, we'll be on there. But for everybody here, get into Nick Hoff. He's a great comedian. He's the real deal. And we're signing off, man. TractorTuesday.com.
Till the soil